Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we are here for a video with some Pokemon things. So basically the new game, Pokemon Sword and Shield, is coming out very soon. And I don't really have an interest in buying it at the moment. Maybe in like 6 months or a year, I'll decide to buy it, but I don't really think that will happen. Yeah, I don't really find an interest in that game. There's a lot of things on it that I don't really like. And Lamine also isn't buying it. He actually got rid of his Switch, so there's a strong chance that I probably won't be playing the game. But I kind of want to talk about like how that sort of disappointing what the game's become. Sort of break down some of the stuff that I don't like about it. But first, I want to get into going over just some of the games that I previously played for Pokemon. So main series games, and actually even other things besides just the games. So for main series, I played Pokemon Yellow, Sapphire, Fire Red, Diamond, Platinum, Soul Silver, Black, White, Black 2, White 2, X, Moon, and Ultra Sun. I also played some of the other side games, Pokemon Go being the main, most played one of those. I also played Let's Go Pikachu, Pokemon Rumble Blast. I guess that was one. I'm trying to figure out which ones I played. Pokepark 2, which was on the Wii, played that. Pokemon Ranger, whatever one had the Manaphy thing you get, and I couldn't find out what game that was. But that one. And also the Pokemon Ranch. So, that's the one where you play as Dr. Phil and catch Pokemon. So, yeah. Those are the ones that I played. I mean, there's been plenty of other things that I've bought my Pokemon. I mean, I used to watch the show so much. I really watched a lot of 4th gen. And I watched a bunch of the movies. I think from like, I don't know, at least like 10, 12 of them. I mean, and then we get into the Pokemon books that I have, all the Pokedexes and things like that. My closet over there, on the other side of this camera, I have a shelf in it. And one whole stack on the shelf is just a bunch of Pokemon books. Why am I holding this? I don't know. And even, some different clothes with Pokemon on it. I've had a bunch of those. And I got some Pokemon over there, some of the little stuffed dudes. So, I got a bunch of those things. So, it's definitely been something that I've been quite into in the past 9 years. I got into Pokemon in 2010. I was at summer camp and one of the kids gave me Pokemon Sapphire. And, wait, does that actually affect it if I move this on the screen? No, it's just cut off. Okay, that makes sense. So, yeah, I'd got Pokemon Sapphire from some kid at the summer camp, and I played it a lot till the battery messed up in it or something happened to the game. And, yeah, that's when I just really got into it. I started playing a lot of different games, and, the last 9 years I really enjoyed it. So, basically what's wrong with Alpha Sapphire, or not Alpha Sapphire, well, what's wrong with Sword and Shield? Well, I think that there's quite a few things. First, I feel like in the past, really since 2016, Game Freak, Nintendo, whoever is really in charge of when they're launching a game, has been pushing too much for just like getting a game out for money. I think that's really been a thing, is producing a game to make money on it. Like most other game companies have become, it's not really about making a quality game anymore. Game companies used to take, years to make a game, but now they'll just push them out for money. We even see that with game companies that take a long time to produce a game, like Rockstar. I mean, look at GTA 5, how many super expensive DLCs the game has now. I mean, they're all free to download, but to buy anything, you gotta almost spend a lot of money in the game to get them. So, that's probably really the last company I could think of that really takes their time to make a game. GTA 5 came out in 2013. There's still not a new one. Red Dead Redemption 2 came out last year, and the first one came out like 2010, maybe 2008. I don't know. Whenever the first one came out, so it was a while. So they take their time. But most of the companies, they just, produce games to make them to profit more than. I mean, again, every company that's their goal, but that's really the only thing they do. It's not let's make a quality game that people are going to like and enjoy. It's just push out new things every year. I mean, there's 1 year since 2009 that they didn't push out a main series game, and that was 2018 when they still put out another game. So again, that's a longer gap, but I feel the other games were decent. X and Y was a little bit but before that, I mean, the gap between. I mean, here's the thing: if you look at the gap between 4th gen and 5th gen, it is a longer gap. It wasn't just let's put out a game, let's do the second edition of it, and then a new region starts. Diamond and Pearl came out in 2007, at least in America. I think about 2006 in Japan. That's when they weren't doing the global releases. So I'm going to use the years in America. I don't know what it was in Japan. It might be the same, but just go with that. So 2007, Diamond and Pearl came out. 2009, Platinum came out. Then they had their remake in there, 2010. And then 2011, Black and White came out. So there was a gap between the new things. Then you had Black 2, White 2 in 2011. Or 2012, that's what it was, 2012. 2013, you had X and Y. You had a year in there where, 15 they didn't put out a new game. 15 they didn't put out one. They should have done a second region of that, but then, Sun and Moon comes out, Ultra Sun and Moon comes out, so they're doing like a year gap in between, which, from the initial game, it's only 2 years. Where, I mean, we can look at the other ones. It's been like 3 years, even more. Yeah. I mean, the first region, it's weird to figure out when they came out. I think it was 98 in America. You had red and blue. And then you had the second generation was 2000. So that's only 2 years. Then you had another 2 years before Sapphire and Ruby. And then in between there, we're not counting the remakes or the third game of the region like they used to do. Now they do 2 games, but still. Then you had from 2003 to 2007 before a new region came out. Then you had from 2007 to 2011. Then it was 11 to 13. Then it's 13 to 16. Now it's 16 to 19. Like, there's. It feels shorter. I don't know if it actually is, but it feels like it's a shorter gap. And, throwing in the other games, there's not as much of a gap in there. So, I don't know. I feel like they're pushing out games too much in the past couple years. But yeah, the thing with Sword and Shield. First of all, they have always been trying to add in these little extra features to the battles since 6th gen. The first 5 generations, it was just standard battling with items, abilities, things like that. Then you go to 6th gen. And they introduced Mega Evolution. And I think Mega Evolution overall was a decent and actually really cool addition into the game. Mega Evolution, there's a specific amount of Pokemon that, can change their form in battle and become a little bit stronger. Oh god. Just launched my phone. Now, in the actual game, it's pretty cool, kind of well developed into the region, things like that. And it felt like it had a purpose, and it felt like it had a use in the game. Now, in competitive battling, it's a little bit different. I feel like I wasn't really into competitive battling, but from what I've seen of it, you were kind of forced to use one of these Mega Evolutions, which there's only like 25 or 30 of them, so it kind of limits you there, but still, you can build a team around that. And then we go to 7th gen, and that's when it gets really bad. They made Z moves, which I find to be super lame. There's only like one Z move that I really liked, which was from Lycanroc, when it had its own special one. The special Lycanroc for Ultra Sun and Moon. The Dusk form, that one's kind of cool. The move that it has is decent, but for the most part, I mean, these Z moves are kind of lame. It's kind of like, oh, battle a totem instead of getting a gym badge or whatever. It's kind of stupid. Not really a fan of that. Then we go to 8th gen, and they're going to scrap both these things. I think getting rid of Z moves is great, but Mega Evolution should still be in the game. I feel like that was a great addition to the series. One really good change they've made to the game since 6th gen. There hasn't been a lot of good things in Pokemon since 6th gen, so that's one of the good ones, and they're getting rid of it. So now they made, like, Dynamax or whatever it's called, and Gigamax, and it's like, I mean, I'll show a picture on the screen, but it's the dudes with, like, really big, I don't know, it seems kind of lame. And they're trying really hard with these new Pokemon with that. And they're doing a lot of the alternate forms for the region, which I think is cool. I think that worked for Alola. The Alolan forms is kind of unique. I liked it. I really liked the addition of it. I didn't really use Alolan forms, but I think it was kind of cool. A kind of redesign, give new typing to some of these other Pokemon that don't, that haven't really been done anything with. Good job. Yeah, give new typing and, redesign some of the old Pokemon. Kind of cool. But then we get to something that I find kind of lame, which we will show on the screen right now. It is a Farfetch'd over here. And that is an evolution of Farfetch'd, just like Surfetch'd or something stupid. Why? Why is this a thing? I don't understand why you make an evolution of something so, like, useless. Farfetch'd doesn't need an evolution. I know there's dudes like, oh, give Farfetch'd and Dunsparce all this stuff. It's like, stop. You're not actually going to use that trash. So, on my phone here, I'll pull up a thing that I can see some of the other ones that kind of got leaked. Some other forms and evolutions. There's an evolution of Corsola. I don't know if I'll be able to get it on the screen here, just because it's kind of a small image. I'll maybe try to look for one, but we'll see. Yeah. They made an evolution of Corsola. Now again, I think the alternate forms are cool. Ponyta has an evolution, or an alternate form. Weezing, Stunfisk, Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime evolves, though. Wait. They gave Mr. Mime an evolution into Mr. Rhyme? Oh, my God. Stop giving these Pokemon the evolution they don't need. Like, I get if you want to give... I don't know. I feel like the old Pokemon, you should just leave. We've gotten to the point where they've only done one new evolution since 5th gen, because that was kind of the thing. The first 4 generations are very connected in the sense that they are all, the older games and all the stuff worked like the way that they were all evolution-wise, and 4th gen kind of gave a lot of evolutions to the 1st and 2nd gen Pokemon that they kind of had in the files from those old games and never did anything with. So like, oh, here, we'll give them evolution, stuff like that, some baby Pokemon in there. I think it worked. 5th gen comes around and say, we're not doing any new Pokemon. 5th gen's all new. 6th gen, they introduce Fairy typing. They make Sylveon, which is really cool. Probably one of the best evolutions, Eevee, if not the best. So yeah, that works. I think giving an evolution of Eevee worked when a new typing came out. And then that's it. I think that giving Eevee an evolution really worked well. Go to 7th gen, do some new forms, whatever. 8th gen, they just sit down and say, let's make some new evolutions. And it's not like they're relevant evolutions. Like, why do we need an evolution of Farfetch? Why do we need an evolution of Corsola? Why do we need an evolution of Mr. Mime? So it looks like that's a new form. Oh, also an evolution of Zigzagoon. Why? I like Zigzagoon. And Linoon, but why? That's something when I forgot about that dude. I see it here. Is that a different evolution of Yamask? Oh my god. I don't know what they're doing. This is why, partially, I don't care to play this game. Like, look at this stuff that I'm telling you that they're like changing, that I'm looking at here. Oh my god. Then we get to the next issue. Now let me look at one thing here. I don't know if that's actually an evolution of Yamask or just a different form, but it doesn't say the name, so I'm assuming it is a different form. So, they decided at Game Freak, at Nintendo, whoever it is, decides, let's not put every single Pokemon in the game. Now, I know this is a topic that probably to people is quite annoying to see online, bring back national decks or whatever, I don't know. But I feel that the essence of Pokemon is having every Pokemon. Like, that's the essence of the game. What it's always been is you gotta catch them all. Like, they used that slogan when the game first came out. They sort of dropped it for a while and then brought it back. They brought it back in 6th gen, I believe. Like, that's the thing. Like, obtaining every Pokemon's the goal of Pokemon, is to be the dude with every Pokemon evolution, everything in your Pokedex. And sure, they cut out some useless things. Like, I don't think anybody's really gonna miss Cacnea. I don't think anybody's gonna miss, like, Simisage and Simipour and whatever. Like, you know, I'm looking through here trying to think of ones that don't matter. But I think the Pokemon should be every single evolution. Like, and at least if you're gonna do it, put all the starters. Like, everybody loves the starters. Put them all. The only starter that you can get from previous regions is Charizard. Now, I thought that all the first gen Pokemon were going to be in the game, because that's literally taking Pokemon that you've already coded from Let's Go and moving them. You move the code to the new files. Why? I guess it takes a lot of work to do remodeling of all the Pokemon and make them Dynamax or whatever, but don't make Dynamax then! Nobody wants that trash. And this is the thing. I feel if Dynamax wasn't necessarily a thing, and if there wasn't these stupid, useless evolutions and the whole Pokedex, I would buy the game. I wouldn't not be interested, but you make changes like this. And honestly, there was a split second the other day when I'm like, maybe I'll buy the game. Then I look at the list of Pokemon that aren't in the game and I'm just like, that's a massive amount. Then I see the evolutions that they're making. Because there was a leak here. That's what I'm looking at. It's a leak here. Can I get it to adjust slightly? Yes. I'll try to put the images here. This whole chart. I'll see if I can copy it and put it on the screen a little better. Same with this chart. Try to put it on the screen a little better if I can download the file and put it up. But Yeah. So actually, we'll show that on the screen right now. If it works, if not, this part won't exist in the video. But here's the new Pokemon, all the new ones, evolutions, all that stuff. As you see, there's a lot of different things on there, and a lot of evolutions down towards the bottom that are just, pointless. Now we're going to put up the image for all the Pokemon that are coming and aren't coming. So this here's a Pokedex from all the generations, 1 through 7. And all the ones that are green are ones that are coming. All the ones that are white are not. One thing that is a surprise to me on this chart is Melmetal. I thought they were supposed to be part of 8th gen. I guess they're not 8th gen Pokemon? I don't know. Either way, there's a lot of things in this game that I'm not really a fan of. The one thing that I do think is cool is that it's coming to the Switch. I think the Switch is a great system. It's fun to play, but to see something like this, I mean, it's not worth buying. It's not worth spending $60 on this game if it's just going to be something I don't think is going to be interesting. And I think that the region idea is cool. I think being in the UK is really awesome. That's another like fun part of it. It's in the UK. It's on the Switch. That's really cool. It sounds awesome. And then you look at it, and it's giant Pokemon and half a missing Pokedex, and like, what are you doing? So much stuff that's just done with this game. So that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed and were interested in hearing my reasons for not wanting to buy Pokemon Sword and Shield. So yeah, thank you for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.